to do the crazy, and sometimes I just want it to. Okay, gonna go with that. Facing the wrong way. Let's go back and have a look at this. So this should be much smoother. I'm going to get in the truck since it's the most convenient thing. And turn off the help screen. There's still a bit of a lip there, but and there's still a little undulation, but on the whole I think it's better than it was. Whoa, okay, that's not better than it was. Okay, not that one. P, construction, landscaping. See, that's raise and lower. That's level, that's soften. So I think what we do here is, right, level, yes, left key, change brush size, M, shape V, go. Kind of messed up the floor in there, haven't I? Decoration, no, landscaping, painting, animal mud, is that concrete? Okay, I can't fix that. It's not going to let me paint inside. Oh, actually it is. That's not it. Is that it? No, that's definitely not it. Rock. It's not concrete, it's not that. What's that? Dirt. Okay, that's dirt. That. No. That. Not really. It's definitely not gravel. Actually, that's close enough, I guess. We had to patch the ground a little there, and then over here we do want gravel. Yes. Not really supposed to paint under your vehicles, that can cause issues. Okay, let's get back in the truck and see how. So what happened was I had the wheel on lock and then all of a sudden it just stopped steering. Still a little bit rough around here, but see there. I might go in with the smoothing tool and just tidy that bit up. Yeah, it's still a little rocky there. I have no idea what that's about. Might be just the truck misbehaving. Okay. We'll go back to construction, landscaping, painting, gravel. We'll gravel that bit up again. Okay, and then we'll go landscaping, sculpting, and soften. And bigger, squarer. And what was make it stronger? Change brush strength. Yeah, I don't know if this is achieving anything here, but it should smoothen stuff out so ground is not quite so terrible. And I'm going to take this all the way over here. I think I did smoothen that one. It's generally this area that is a problem. I kind of miss Farm Sim 17 and 19. When you placed a building, you could place the building and then raise or lower it, so you could lower it into the ground. So if you felt that there was too much of a lip at the front of a building, that wasn't necessarily going to be a problem for you, because it would balance itself out. I mean, I can't see any issues there. I'm sure that pickup truck's going to have a problem. Might be a bit of a divot there. So it is 11:39 and we did all of our yard work. Yeah, that was it. It was windrowing the potatoes. So, where's potato farming? Potato technology. Oh, I don't have them loaded for this round. It was the stuff where you had the windrower. You drove along along a thing, and it would just drop the potatoes out the back. And then you would turn around and you would come straight back up the other side and it would drop the potatoes out of the side. So you could create a double windrow, and then you just had a pickup which had a very small width. It didn't matter because your working width was like 2 meters on the rower. So you could harvest 2 meters, come back, harvest another 2 meters, and you ended up with 4 meters in a windrow. Yes, I saw that 2 years before we got the DLC that enabled you to do it in Farming Simulator. And I thought, that was brilliant. Why can't we have one of those? And then they implemented it into Farming Simulator, and I was like, yeah, I don't like this. Because it didn't work well. I mean, the theory was I could set a worker in a tractor with the rower on the back and it would go and harvest all my potatoes. The problem was it didn't. It ended up, it was dropping potatoes across. If you imagine you've got the harvesting bit, you've then got like half a meter that's not harvested, and then the potatoes were dropped to the right of that. So when you came back and did the other side, it wasn't a coherent windrow. It had sort of a narrow row of potatoes, half a meter, and another narrow row of potatoes. So you couldn't do it in one pass with the collector. But I did see, I saw that video and thought that's kind of neat. I like that. Okay, we did all of that. What have we got out in the fields? Nothing? Nothing. We did look at the store. I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to sell anything. I really need to wait for stuff. Let's have a look at what the weather's doing tomorrow. Oh, let's save. That's a good plan. Okay, it is going to rain at 10 o'clock tonight. Oh, I might do. I think the Massey Ferguson 225 horsepower. I can work that. Okay. I did suggest we could possibly go and do some things around the farm. 38, 40 and 48. 38. That one there. 40. Where's 40? That one there. So it comes in that same side. And 48 is over there. Let's do 38 and 40. It's going to take us a little while. 38. Done. Accept contract. 40. Accept contract. I'll go jump back in the Massey Ferguson then. So I would eventually like to get a tractor that's about 250 horsepower. We'll probably pick it up on the previously owned market. Okay, I'm not noticing quite so bad a time driving over this, so that's good. Now let's try and get into this shed and see how bad it is. And back it in. There we go. Ooh. It is a heavy piece of equipment. Noticeable on this tractor, and we don't have big tyres on this, so kind of doing this a little bit wrong, but such is life. We'll do what we can. So we have bees, we have... I didn't put any bees on this side because I think where the hedge was there, again I want to expand that field a little bit, make more use of the grass verge. Okay, 38 and 40, let's go. Oh man. It depends. I bought this tractor specifically to use with the sprayer, and pretty much only to use with the sprayer. So I put narrow tyres on it because that way you can go out, you can spray crops, and you're not quite so concerned with, you know, digging them up or squashing them or whatever. I will... On a tractor that I've bought specifically for heavy duty farm work, so it's always going to be cultivating or ploughing, I'm probably going to put the widest tyres I can with weights and a big heavy weight on the front because I want the traction, and sometimes this is going to be tricky. This is a cultivator that needs about 220 horsepower to pull it. We have 5 over that, but I'm running narrow tyres, so I might not have the traction. Now, back in Farm Sim 19, I'd watched a couple of guys, I think Disturbed Simulations was one of them, but there was another YouTuber who did a lot of trying things out, and so he got a tractor with multiple tyre options, and basically all the tyre options, got a piece of equipment that was just borderline capable, within the tractor's capabilities, and then did some field work. So kind of like buy a big cultivator, stick it on the back of the tractor and see how you get on. And basically what happened was the narrow tyres really didn't work because there's no weight there, there's no traction there. As he got standard tyres worked better, the speed he worked to the field was a little bit quicker. With wheel weights, that made a difference, but then he also put a weight on the front of the tractor, and that made a difference as well, because you've got four-wheel drive tractor. If you've got wheel weights on the back, that gives you more weight on the tyres, so more traction. But there's no traction up the front here. But by putting a weight on the front, you've now got a good distribution of weight on the tractor. So I now always put, if I don't have to have something on the front of the tractor, so if I've got mowing kit where I've got a front mower and a rear mower or whatever, or just a front mower, I'm not going to put a weight on the tractor. But if I'm doing field work like this, I want a weight on the tractor. So I'm going to have a weight on the tractor 90% of the time. Well, I'm not going to bother taking the weight off unless I need something. I need to put something on the front. So if I'm using the Amazon little tractor sprayer that has the tank on the back and an auxiliary tank on the front, obviously I want the auxiliary tank on the front because it gives me more duration on the field. It also provides a little bit of weight, and the front tank drains last. So you do keep the weight on the front of the tractor. But yeah, it's all about weight distribution. Well, I was playing an Eastern European map with a mod two-wheel drive. I want to say it had 95 horsepower. So I did have enough horsepower. And I had a small cultivator on the back, which technically only needed 45 horsepower. Now, I don't know if any of the mods were a little bit messed up in how everything was implemented, but my tractor could not haul that cultivator at all. It just wheel spin. And you can tell if you've got a traction problem. Position the camera here, and if the wheels are going round faster than you're moving, you've got a traction problem. You need bigger tyres, you need wheel weight, you need a front weight. If you're driving and the wheels aren't spinning, but you're not making speed, then you don't have enough horsepower. And Cameo, good day and welcome. So, ads. Yes, we'll give it 90 seconds. So we'll say good morning to everybody again. Waiting for the ads. Problem is I don't get to see the ads, so I don't know when they happen. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so I was basically, what you're looking at is I'll go back to this point in my spiel. If your wheels are spinning faster than you're moving, you have a traction issue. If you're not working at the speed of the piece of equipment, so let's say this piece of equipment has a 9 mile an hour working speed and I'm only making 5, I've probably got a horsepower issue, and that horsepower issue could be related to I'm going up a hill at the same time and I need the horsepower to haul the piece of equipment, which, 220 horsepower for this particular piece of equipment. I need enough horsepower to make the tractor move, and I need enough horsepower to overcome the force of gravity. So at that point, I may have an issue with horsepower as well, potentially as traction. But if the wheels are spinning and you're not moving, or you're not moving at operating speed, you need more rubber on the ground. So doubles, wider tyres, more weights, front weight, everything that way. And as I was saying, I was playing a Polish map in Farming Simulator 19, back when I streamed during weekdays as well. And my tractor could not, 85 horsepower, could not haul a 45 horsepower cultivator. And I thought, this is a little bit odd. But I took the tractor over to the store, and I put the biggest tyres I could, and that was big tyres on the back with weights, and wide tyres on the front, which doesn't make a lot of a difference because it's a two-wheel drive tractor, so there's no traction coming from those. But it took all of that just to make this 85 horsepower tractor haul a cultivator that technically only needed 45 horsepower to move it. But obviously the weight was something that the tractor could not overcome. And good morning, Cameo, just in case you missed my good morning cars ads. But anyway, yeah, so I like to use tyres for the job at hand. Obviously, fertilising a field where the crop is growing, especially after stage 1. So before you get precision farming and you have to go out there and spray the field twice, normally what I try to do is get some form of fertiliser pre-planting or at planting. So I will plant a field and then spread solid fertiliser on it, or I'll use a seeder with fertiliser application in it. And then when it gets to first stage growth, I'll go out and spray it. Back in Farm Sim 17, that was actually a problem because fertilisation was 3 stages, not 2. So you had to go out there and destroy crop if you didn't put narrow wheels on. So if I buy a fertilisation tractor, I'll always put narrow wheels on it, just because you don't want it messing up your crop when you're spraying, spreading, whatever. Now, if I've got a yard tractor, I may put communal tyres on it, because I don't need the big hulking, these types of tyres if I'm not driving in dirt. So any tractor that I'm using just for road purposes, only road purposes, or only yard purposes, I may just put communals on it if they're available. But if I don't know, if the tractor is an all-purpose, I'll usually just put standards on it and possibly wheel weights and leave it at that. As I was saying about this tractor, I specifically bought it to haul the John Deere sprayer. So up until now, I've not really used it for field work, and I tried not to use it for anything other than spraying. Well, now we've got the self-propelled sprayer, the specific need for this tractor has gone, but the functional need of having a 200-ish horsepower tractor is still there. So I may take this in and swap the tyres for regular tyres, just so it becomes a more general purpose tractor rather than specific spraying tractor. But I do like, I kind of like having a spraying tractor, because the spraying tractor will have the crop sensors, it will have narrow tyres, and anything else. First tractor I buy on a farm will usually be a general purpose tractor, and I'll put crop sensors on it because I kind of need them if I'm going to be going out spraying and using precision farming, and just generally it'll have front load. I look for a good sized engine, somewhere in the 200-250 horsepower range, because it gives me the potential to expand. I'm kind of like Jeremy Clarkson. I just realised, you buy a tractor with a good size engine so it can do all the work you need it to do. If it's got front loader arms, then you can lift things and carry them around and do stuff like that. So again, it makes it more utilitarian. As such, back in Farm Sims 17 and 19, I liked the Valtra N because you could equip it with a 200 horsepower engine. Admittedly, its weight could be a problem, just because you've got more. Some equipment's heavy, so you might be overloading the frame. If you're putting, say, something like this on, theoretically it can pull it, but that's a lot of weight to stick on the rear hitch. But you can fit it with narrows, wides, weights, loader arms. So it was a good functional all-round tractor.